Hi, I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. So, today we're going to be talking about Saturn's retrograde in Pisces. And if you like this video and you want to see more great content like it, be sure to like, hype, and subscribe. It really helps out me and the channel. To be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. And if you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, links to those will be in the description box in the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, links to those will be in the description box as well. Okay, so we're talking about Saturn's retrograde into Pisces. Now this is going to be taking place from July 26th through December 10th of 2026. So all of the rest of this year. Now, when we look at these transits, we look from the ascendant. Ascendant is your overall path in life, and it's your body. Moon. Moon is your mind and emotions. It's how you think and feel about your reality. Sun, because sun is your soul and your body. What are they experiencing in this life? And if you want to go a step further, the Navamsa Ascendant, the D9 Ascendant, because that's who you become later in life. So seeing transits from all four of these points and combining the meanings of them will add even more to it. So that's how we look at these transits. But Saturn's retrograde into Pisces. Big thing that we're going to see for everyone is Neptune's retrograde and Rahu is sitting in Aquarius. So Saturn and Neptune are both now acting like they're in Aquarius. So what this is really going to do. First, I've already talked about Neptune. We're going to focus on Saturn here. But Saturn is going to rein Rahu and Neptune in. Saturn's saying, okay, while I'm here, we're going to be practical. So your head's not going to get too far in the clouds. But Saturn is going to exert its influence from Pisces into Aquarius. Okay. But we're going to jump into this, and we're going to start with Aries, like always. Alright, Aries. So for you, Aries, Saturn is retrograding in the 12th house, exerting its energy into the sign of Aquarius. So, first let's talk about the 12th house. 12th house is spirituality. It's bed pleasure, sex and sleep. It's anywhere you feel isolated, jails, hospitals, asylums, monasteries. It's losses of all kinds, including financial. Twelfth house is investing, because investing, you temporarily lose money to make money. It's foreign people, foreign places, multinational companies. It's addictions, fantasy, outer space, and other worlds. And now Saturn is exerting its energy in the 11th house with Rahu and that Neptune retrograde. Now, this is going to be, 11th house. 11th house is elder siblings, paternal aunts and uncles. It's your friends, large network circles, large organizations, large gatherings, parties. It's stock market and gains. It's your hopes, wishes, and desires. It's also 6th from the 6th. It's the greatest health issue you will deal with. It's the greatest debt you will take on. It's the greatest enemy you will face. It's also 12th from the 12th. It is the greatest loss you will deal with. And it is the height of spirituality. Because there is nothing more spiritual than serving this world and the people in it. And the animals in it. So, with Saturn, Neptune, and Rahu all exerting their energy here for the rest of this year, what you're going to see, first off, Saturn is your 10th and 11th Lord being here. One thing that we can see is if there is a foreign opportunity to work, it will be very good for you financially. It will help fulfill your hopes, wishes, and desires. But at the same time, you're going to see, we just got a little omen. I heard some yelling down the street. Probably the mic didn't pick it up though. Is there's going to be something you're desiring that you're going to let go of. Because now loss is coming to the house of desire. You're going to have something you were desiring with that Rahu and Neptune, that smoke and mirror energy, and you're going to let that go. You're going to get a new desire. And that's one you can actually fulfill. Because Saturn saying it's time to be practical. Head out of the fucking clouds. not letting Neptune and Rahu take over. No, we have to be grounded and practical. There's going to be a mix of both, but Saturn's going to try to rein them in. Remember, the rings of Saturn. Saturn's going to keep them in that boundary. It's like, okay, you're a fog cloud trying to fog everything up. Well, now I'm locking you in a glass jar. Can't go anywhere. Can't cause too much trouble. But another thing that you will see is elder siblings, paternal aunts and uncles, um, your friends. They could be dealing with some difficult circumstances during this time. They could be dealing with addiction issues. And Saturn's showing they have to be responsible. They have to overcome that. You need to be careful. There could be friends that try to deceive you, that could try to take advantage of you. That could be there. But one thing we do see is that, especially when it comes to your work, your career, status, those are desires you get to fulfill during this time. But you're going to have to invest into your network circles, meaning you're going to have to spend money on them. Now, that sounds counterproductive because I just said some of them can cheat you. So you have to be careful who to invest in, who is going to help you achieve something in your career. Like, what friend do you take to a work lunch? That kind of thing. Um, but yeah, now, if you have investments, this is where you can gain significantly. Because now investments are in the house of gains. So you can gain through investments. You can gain through shipping. 12th house is also shipping if you're involved in that. But you do need to be careful here. Like I said, there will be some losses tied here if you're not careful. Also, you can be too addicted to partying during this time, if you know you're that kind of person, especially when it comes to alcohol, drugs, that kind of thing. So be aware. All right, let's talk about the aspects of Saturn. So Saturn's going to have a third aspect falling on the first house. You now have to put effort into you. You have to overcome yourself. You have to be a better you. You have to work hard. Seventh aspect. It's the relationship aspect. This is falling on the fifth house. If you have children, this could be a little distant, your relationship with them during this time. Same thing with students. Same thing with people in an educational environment. Now, the 10th aspect is going to fall on the 8th house. So with this, there's going to be karma to deal with the in-laws during this time. To deal with the occult, deal with research. There will be sudden changes that take place during this time. All these things can take place. There may even be karma tied to inheritance during this time as well. Okay, but that's what this Saturn retrograde is going to do for you. All right. Let's move on to Taurus. If I can get it to rotate. There we go. All right, Taurus. So for you, Saturn and Neptune are both retrograding into your 10th house. So Saturn is your 9th and 10th lord. But it's retrograding from the 11th house. It's going to bring that energy of the 11th house into the 10th house. So 11th house is your elder siblings. It's your friends. It's your paternal aunts and uncles. It's network circles, large organizations, large gatherings, parties. It's stock market and gains. It's your hopes, wishes, and desires. But it's also 6th from the 6th. It's the greatest health issue you will deal with. It's the greatest enemy you will have in this life. It's the greatest debt you will have to take on. It's also 12th from the 12th. It's the greatest loss you will incur in this life. And it's also the height of spirituality. Because there is nothing more spiritual than serving humanity and the denizens of this earth at large. But now that's going into the 10th house. You're bringing that energy into the 10th house. Or Saturn is. 10th house is career, status, your workplace, your managers, your bosses. It's government. It's the highest house of karma. It's your karmic actions that the world notices. So even if you're out of work or retired, 10th house still matters. So one thing that we see, you're going to have to deal with friends, network circles. You're going to have a network tied to your career to improve your career. But one thing you can see here, when it comes to large gatherings that are tied to work, be careful about drinking, doing drugs, those kinds of things. Because Rahu and Neptune are going to try to confuse you and say, this is okay. This won't hurt your career. But it can. See, that's where that logic has to come into play. Now, Saturn's trying to rein that in. But Saturn's showing you have karma to deal with this now. So if you know that's you, then you know. But also, friends can benefit your career. But friends are going to need your help. Maybe they need help in their own career or with losses that they're dealing with during this time. Same thing applies to elder siblings. And because you're so focused on work, you may actually lose friends during this time. There may be friends that you're not able to keep. But your desires for status, for improving your career, those can actually be fulfilled during this time. If you work hard. Saturn's showing you have to put in the work, though. Now, let's talk about the aspects. Oh, sorry. Forgot. Saturn's also your 9th lord. Let's include that. So, with that, we see you may have to take on education for your work as well. You may have to travel for your work, especially traveling to large organizations, large gatherings. Like you may have to travel to like a conference or something like that. Travel somewhere for work. That could also take place. But we do see there will be luck in your career, luck in having status during this time, and improving your status, your reputation. Okay. Now, the aspects. So, third aspect is going to be on the 12th house. Here, you have to put an effort into overcoming your losses. You have to put effort towards your spirituality if you are on a spiritual path. You have to put forth effort to travel somewhere. Like I said, Saturn's your 9th lord of long distance travel is now aspecting the 12th house of long distance or foreign travel. So you need to do that. It would benefit your career. The other thing that we see is you may have to put forth effort into investing if you want to see gains long term. Because Saturn's in the house of the stock market, aspecting the house of investing. So if you know you have the money to do that, you want to do that, get on it. Also, Saturn is showing overcome those addiction issues that you have. if you are one of the people that has those. Like I said, Rahu with Neptune acting like it's conjunct in Satyabisha and Uttar Bhadrapada, these two nakshatras, they definitely show those addiction issues can be there. Overcome them. All right. Seventh aspect is going to be on the fourth house. This is the relationship aspect. With Saturn, it's going to make things cold, distant, bleak. That's going to be with your mother, with the people in your home. Relationship can be a bit distant. Now, 10th aspect. It's the aspect of karma. Karma has to be performed here. That's going to be on the 7th house. If you want to do business during this time, you have to put in the work. If you want a relationship, if you want to get married, you have to put in the work. It can't all be on your partner. If you're already in a relationship, no, you have to do your fair share. Maybe even more than your fair share, because this is Saturn. Saturn's a servant. Saturn's saying you have to serve this house now. And 7th house is the masses. It is all the people in the world. Just like the 11th house, Saturn is affecting both now. Because physically, it's in the 11th house. But its aspect is on the 7th house. Because it is aspecting from Aquarius, your 10th house. So we see, you have to deal with a lot of people during this time. You have to network, you have to socialize. It's going to improve your career. It's going to help you fulfill those desires of yours. Okay. That's what I have for you, Taurus. Moving on to Gemini. All right, Gemini. So for you, Saturn is in your 10th house in Pisces, retrograde into the 9th in Aquarius, along with Neptune and acting conjunct Rahu. So 10th house is your career, your status, your fame, your reputation. It's your workplace, your managers and your bosses. It's government. It's the highest house of karma. It's your karmic actions that the world notices. So even if you're out of work or retired, 10th house still matters. And now that's going into the 9th house. Well, 9th house is your father figures, your mentors, your teachers, your gurus. It's higher education beyond a bachelor's degree and outside of typical schooling. It's long distance travel, pilgrimage, publishing. 9th house is 5th from the 5th. It's a higher form of creativity in arts and sports. Higher form of counseling. 9th house is your ancestral lineage, and it's your luck and your fortune. So knowing all this, first off, we see you may have to travel for work during this time. Also, you may have a manager or a boss who leaves the workplace, quits, or transfers. That could also take place. On behalf of your work, you may have to get more education. You may have to take a course, some kind of program. If you work with your father, there could be some issue there. There's more responsibility towards the father that needs to take place. Father may need your help. Father may be struggling health-wise. Especially if they deal with addiction issues because of that Neptune and Rahu. In Uttar Bhadrapada and Satyabisha nakshatras. One's tied to addiction, one's tied to alcoholism. Same thing with your mentors, teachers, gurus. But you have to serve the father. You have to serve your mentors. You have to work hard in education. Or like I said, traveling. But you work hard here, it's going to bring luck. Because Rahu's showing you're desiring to have that luck. Saturn is now giving you the actual, grounded, practical application. to obtain that luck. And that's going to benefit your career, your status. Okay. Now, Saturn is also your 8th and 9th lord. So one thing we see, if you do travel, there's going to be a transformation that takes place, a sudden change in your luck. Travel is very good for you with this retrograde. Also, with this, your father may need a surgery during this time. And if not your father, then you may need a surgery. And if you do, it would be tied to the knees or the thigh region. So that could also be there, especially if you know you're older in years. The other thing that we see, this education could be tied to the occult. It could be tied to psychology. Maybe you're wanting to change careers during this time. Saturn's your 8th lord of sudden changes, and it's in the 10th house of career. And it's retrograding into a house of education. Maybe you want to get education so you can change what career you're in. Change your job. This could also be showing that. Now, let's talk about the aspects. Third aspect is going to fall in the 11th house. You now have to put forth effort to dealing with your friends, dealing with your elder siblings, large organizations, large gatherings. You have to put forth the effort to fulfill your hopes, wishes, and desires. They're not just going to come to you. You have to do something about it. You may have to work hard on behalf of a large organization during this time. And that would benefit your career. Now, 7th aspect is the relationship aspect. That's going to fall in the 3rd house. So, 3rd house is social media, the internet. It's all the people you deal with online. So, don't expect people to support you online during this time. No. Like if you're in social media, you'll notice like your comment section may be very bleak during this time. People may not be interested in what you have to say. May be very restricted. When it comes to your neighbors, your cousins, your younger siblings, you're not going to be able to communicate with them as much. Like that relationship's going to be more distant. There may be less phone calls between you, less texting. Or, just your neighbors kind of being hard asses with you. That could be there even. Now, 10th aspect. I don't know why I drew it like that. Okay. It's like a check mark. Okay. So, now you have karma to perform tied to the 6th house. Guess 10th aspect is the aspect of karma. So, you may have karma to deal with your maternal aunts and uncles. You have work you have to perform. You have to work during this time. There may be health issues that you have to overcome. Or you're working hard to improve your health. During this time, you may actually get a pet with this aspect. You may have to take on debt or pay off debt that you've taken on. There may be some kind of enemy that you have to face during this time. These are all things that we can see with this aspect. Okay, that's what I have for you though, Gemini. Moving on to Cancer. All right, Cancer. So for you, Saturn is in your 9th house, retrograding with Neptune into the 8th house. Now, 9th house is your father figures, your mentors, your teachers, your gurus. It's higher education beyond a bachelor's degree and outside of typical schooling. It's long distance travel, pilgrimage, publishing. It's religion, philosophy, the law. It's 5th from the 5th, higher form of creativity, art, sports, and politics. This is why religion is often used as a political tool. It's your ancestral lineage. It's counselors, and it's also your luck and your fortune. Now, that energy is being brought into the eighth house. Eighth house is your in-laws. It's joint finances and relationships and business. It's other people's money. It's inheritance. It's sex. It's death. It's the occult. It's research. It's surgeries. It's psychological baggage. It's sudden ups and downs and transformation. And Saturn is your seventh and eighth lord. So with this, first off, your in-laws may be kind of deceptive with you during this time. Rahu and Neptune are there. Rahu is in a nakshatra that is tied to stealing, Satabisha. And Saturn's going to be there. That's a lot of malefic influence on this house. Now, if it's not your in-laws doing this to you, and it may not actually be stealing, this could be deceiving. It could be you doing this to them. It's going to depend on each individual. But that is something that we see with this. The other thing that we see is your father may need some kind of surgery during this time. Or if you need some kind of surgery, it would be your thigh region. So that could also take place. Father is dealing with some sudden ups and downs or some kind of losses during this time as well. The other thing that we see, if you are in education, you may have to do some significant research tied to your education or transform your education in some way. It's changing during this time. It won't remain the same. Right now, there is luck in overcoming your psychological baggage and dealing with the sudden ups and downs of life. There is luck in transforming your business because Saturn is the seventh lord in the eighth house. If you are involved in business, your philosophy, your religious views, they can be changing during this time with this retrograde. But you need to be careful with that Neptune and Rahu. They might not be changing for the better. You could be deceiving yourself. Now, that may be hard to overcome. It depends. Did you watch this video? Did you take it seriously? Or are you deluding yourself? You have to be careful with this. Okay. But the big thing, like I said, is with your in-laws. There can be very significant, mainly negative karma here with them. Now, if it's not them deceiving you or stealing from you, they may be dealing with addiction issues, especially to alcohol. Now, that may not affect you at all, but that's something we see. Also, eighth house is what your spouse drinks or eats. So they may be the one dealing with the addiction issue, especially because Saturn is your seventh lord. They may need help with that. Okay. Now, let's talk about the aspects. Third aspect of Saturn is going to fall on the 10th house. So you have to put forth effort to your career during this time and to transforming your career. Some of you may be speaking tied to your career. Could be public speaking, especially with Saturn being your seventh lord. Or maybe having difficult conversations with your manager and bosses. The reason I say that is I wouldn't be choking up for no reason. It's always an omen. But yeah, you have to put forth more effort into your career, into your workplace, into achieving some status, improving your reputation, that kind of thing. Now, seventh aspect is going to fall in the second house. This is the relationship aspect. And with Saturn, it's going to become cold, distant, bleak while it's retrograde here. So, relationship with your own family is going to become a little more distant during this time. Like you're not as close as you normally are. Maybe they're struggling. Maybe you just don't feel like talking with them. Maybe you had a fight. Now, the 10th aspect is going to fall in the 5th house. So, this is the aspect of karma. Now, there's karma that has to be performed tied to the 5th house. So, could be karma tied to children. Maybe you're having children. Or maybe you already have children and they need your help. Once again, for education, Saturn is retrograde in the 9th house of higher education and aspecting the 5th house of education. So yeah, there could definitely be something tied to education that's very significant. Saturn in the 9th house, aspecting the 5th house. There could be something important tied to counseling. Maybe you need psychological help during this time. Maybe you are seeing a psychologist, psychiatrist. This could also be getting involved in politics, because 5th and 9th houses are tied to politics. You want to bring a transformation, a change into this world. But there is some karma to perform tied to this house. You could even be a teacher with this. 5th house is students. Okay, but that's what I have for you, Cancer. Moving on to Leo. All right, Leo. So for you, Saturn is retrograde with Neptune moving towards the 7th house. So, 8th house. 8th house is your in-laws. It's joint finances and relationships and in business. It's inheritance. It's other people's money. It's death, taxes. It's sex. It's the occult. It's research. It's psychological baggage. It's surgery, sudden ups and downs, and transformation. Now, that energy is being brought into the 7th house. And 7th house is relationships, marriage, business partner. It's the masses, all the people you meet out in the world. It's 4th from the 4th, higher form of your comfort and happiness. It's 10th from the 10th, higher form of your career, your status, your fame, your reputation. It's directly opposite the 1st house, where you were born. So it also represents foreign lands. And Saturn is your 6th and 7th lord. So one thing that we see here, where there could have been conflict tied to relationships, marriage, business, that is being brought to an end with this. There could be a transformation of a relationship. Maybe you're ending a relationship. Maybe you are beginning a new one. Could be sudden. But Rahu and Neptune are here. You need to be careful. This could be someone that you shouldn't trust, or this could be someone very spiritual that you are beginning a relationship with. This can go either way. Neptune is a very spiritual planet. Also, if you are already in a relationship or married, they could be dealing with some kind of addiction issue during this time. Because Rahu is in Satyabisha, which is tied to alcoholism. Neptune is in Uttar Bhadrapada and Satyabisha both. So we see there can be addiction issues that your spouse, possibly even your business partner, would be dealing with during this time. But with your spouse, I may need your help with that. Your in-laws could actually be stealing from your spouse during this time. That is something we could see here too. Also, that transformation type of relationships, this could be getting engaged. This could be getting married. Or if you're in a bad marriage, this could be divorce. But we see that there's going to be work being put toward your seventh house during this time. Practical work being put in. Also, if you are beginning a relationship during this time, it could actually be with someone older because Saturn is retrograde here. But for Leo, that's kind of natural anyways because Saturn rules the seventh house. Okay, now let's talk about the aspects of Saturn. Oh, actually, there's one thing before we talk about the aspects. So Saturn is the sixth lord, and it's retrograding from the eighth house into the seventh house. For some of you, your spouse may need a surgery because of some health issue. That is something I'm seeing could be a possibility here. Okay. Now, let's talk about the aspects. So, third aspect is going to be from Aquarius, where Saturn is retrograding to, onto the ninth house. Effort has to be put in, tied to teaching, traveling, education. Effort has to be put in to deal with the father, to having more luck in life. I believe I already said education, but if not, yeah, you may have to take on more education during this time. You have to put forth effort to deal with religious, philosophical, or legal people. That could even be there. Now, seventh aspect of Saturn is falling on the first house. This is the relationship aspect of a planet. But with Saturn, it's cold, bleak, distant. So, there may be a lot of people that you're just not connecting with. You're not able to connect with them the way you'd like during this time. Like, people may not relate to you much during this time. And we see that. The people you deal with would be confused. Rahu and Neptune. Saturn's trying to rein that in as best it can, but that element is still going to be there somewhat. Now, 10th aspect of Saturn is going to be on the fourth house. Fourth house is, home. It's your mother figures. It's vehicles, your comfort and happiness. Saturn's showing you have karma to perform here during this time. So especially dealing with your father, dealing with your mother, that's very significant during this retrograde. You could be traveling to a new home during this time. You could be buying a home, buying a car, renovating a home, repairing a car. But you have to perform this karma if you want to have comfort and happiness. Okay. That's what I have for you, Leo. Moving on to Virgo. Virgo, for you, Saturn and Neptune both are retrograding into the sixth house. Saturn is your fifth and sixth lord. But it's going to bring the energy of that seventh house into the sixth house. So, seventh house is relationships, marriage, it's business and business partner. It's the masses, all the people you meet out in the world. It's fourth from the fourth, higher form of your comfort and happiness. It's 10th from the 10th, higher form of your career, your status, your fame, your reputation. And it is the highest house of karma because it's 10th from the 10th. It's also directly opposite from the first house where you were born, so it even represents foreign lands. So that energy is being brought into the sixth house. Sixth house is your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your coworkers. It's your enemies. It's pets. It's debt. It's health issues and accidents. It's competition, conflict, legal dispute. So, with Saturn retrograde here, first off, if you are in a bad marriage, this could be divorce. And that would be a good thing. Saturn is helping you get out of a bad marriage. Don't think Saturn's, just there to hurt you. Saturn is teaching you a lesson. This has been not good for you. Let's get you out of it. Now, for some of you, your spouse may be dealing with some kind of health issue, especially an addiction issue, but health issues in general. But we do see Rahu's in Satyabisha, Neptune is in Uttarabhadrapada and Satyabisha. So yeah, there could be some kind of health issue or addiction issue that the spouse is dealing with. But health issue in particular, because 6th house is tied to health issues, Satyabisha represents health issues. So that could be there. You may have to take on debt on behalf of your business. Now, children could need some help, either financially or with their health. That could also be there. Also, if you are in business, be careful. Your business partner could be deceiving you or having some kind of losses that you're not seeing. Because 6th house is 12th from the 7th. It is the loss of the 7th house of business. So with Saturn and Neptune retrograde, they're with Rahu. Rahu and Neptune are very deceptive. They're both bringing that fog cloud. Saturn is trying to rein them in, but that element will still be there. Also, things may be difficult for your maternal aunts and uncles, for your coworkers even, or your pets. They could all be dealing with, well, probably not your pets, but they could all be dealing with addiction issues during this time. You have to be very careful when it comes to your enemies right now, though. Your enemies are now hidden from you. Rahu and Neptune are hiding your enemies. Now, Saturn's showing you have to deal with this. You have to be careful. For those of you that are in education, because Saturn's your 5th lord and retrograde into 6th house, you may have to take on debt for your education. But definitely for relationships, this isn't a particularly great transit, especially like romantic relationships. Because Saturn's the 5th lord and the 7th lord, retrograde into 6th house. There are obstacles in relationships and in romance during this time. Either because of what your spouse is dealing with, or because it's a bad relationship and that's coming to an end. Or there's a lot of conflict there. Okay. But let's talk about the aspects of Saturn. Saturn's going to have a third aspect of effort being put on the 8th house. There could be a lot of effort that needs to be put in with the in-laws, or when it comes to transforming something, when it comes to joint finances. Those could require a lot of effort, whether in relationships or in business. Effort has to be put in to transform something, to bring a change. Probably because of all the difficult things that you're going to be dealing with. Now, 7th aspect is the relationship aspect. That's going to be on, actually before that one. The other thing that we see, if there are health issues that are being dealt with during this transit, there may be a surgery that's required. An effort has to be put in to get that surgery. Because 8th house is surgeries as well. Okay. Now moving on to the 7th aspect. 7th aspect is going to fall on the 12th house. So 12th house is spiritual people, foreign people, people in isolated places like healthcare professionals. Because 12th house is hospitals. So relationship may not be very good with these people during this time. Maybe it's because of all the health issues that are being dealt with. You're having difficulty with the doctors that you're dealing with. That could be there. Now, the 10th aspect, one second, let me figure out where that is. There we go. All right. So, 10th aspect is the aspect of karma. So, karma has to be performed, tied to the third house. Your younger siblings may need your help, or you may be dealing with your younger siblings more than usual. Third house is effort. A lot of effort has to be put forth with this. A lot of effort to overcome all these obstacles, these struggles that you're dealing with. It's not easy. So we see that that's there. You may have to communicate more than usual. You have karma to communicate during this time. You may have to learn new skills. This third house of skills. Okay, but that's what I have for you, Virgo. Moving on to Libra. All right, Libra, for you, Saturn and Neptune both are retrograding into your fifth house of Aquarius. And Saturn is your fourth and fifth lord. But Saturn's going to bring the energy of that sixth house into the fifth house. So, sixth house is your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your coworkers. It's your pets. It's your enemies. It's your everyday work, everyday routines. It's debt. It's health issues and accidents. It's competition, conflict, legal disputes. Now that's being brought into the fifth house. Fifth house is romance, fun and games. It's children, students, subordinates. It's education. It's politics. It's counseling. Fifth house is your speculative gains, your stock market, gambling, business. It's also creativity, arts, and sports. Ugh. Okay. So, Saturn retrograde from that sixth house into the fifth house. If you are in education, you may have to take on debt on behalf of your education during this time. That's one thing that we see. The other thing, you may have to take on debt on behalf of your children. Children may be dealing with some kind of health issue during this time, especially with Rahu and Neptune, both acting like they're in Saturn, which is tied to health issues. Now, they're going to be protected because Saturn is acting like the fifth lord in the fifth house, protecting them. But that health issue is still probably going to be there. Now, one thing I will say, if you are wanting to go for like in vitro fertilization during this time, they are going to be in the nakshatra of in vitro fertilization. So if you are trying to have children, trying to overcome health issues to have children, this is actually a good time for it. Because Saturn is showing, okay, Rahu's just desiring that. Now I'm giving the practical ability to achieve that. Now, dashas, meaning your planetary or sign-based time periods, have to be seen for that. Transits alone are not going to tell you that. But this is an indicator. Now, if you already have children, they, especially if they're older children, they may be dealing with some kind of addiction issue during this time. Now, if you have younger children, this could be like video games or something. But older children, this could be like alcoholism that they may be struggling with. In particular, it could be drugs, but alcoholism is the main thing I see here with this. Because Saturn is tied to alcoholism specifically. Now, the other thing that we see is if you are trying to sell a home during this time, I do see that you need to be very careful with this because Rahu and Neptune are both acting like they're in Satyabisha. And Neptune's in Uttara Bhadrapada. These are all tied to crime. So there could be something illegal tied to that. You could be deceived, stolen from, that kind of thing. Reason I say that is fifth house is the earnings of the fourth house of real estate. This could also be like a tenant that is stealing from you. So be careful with that if that applies to you. But that comfort and happiness tied to education, tied to children, there has to be a lot of work put into that. Also, because Saturn is your sixth lord, retrograding into the fifth house. Fifth and sixth houses are tied to your digestive system, like your stomach, your gastrointestinal um, region. There could be health issues tied to that, especially with Uttar Bhadrapada being triggered. Triggered. There we go. Like especially like gas. Like Uttar Bhadrapada causes that, but with Neptune and Rahu and Saturn. Neptune is gas, so is Saturn. Saturn's like oil and gas. There could be something tied to that. Also, Satyabisha is a nakshatra tied to that. So, especially if you're eating too many oily foods, that is something to be aware of. It could cause health issues during this time for Libra, Ascendant, Moon, Sun sign, or Navamsa Ascendant. Okay. Now, enough of the health PSA. And no, I'm not a healthcare professional, as I'm legally required to say. Don't come at me. All right, third aspect of Saturn is going to be on the seventh house. It'll be aspecting from the sign of Aquarius, where it's retrograding into. Now, seventh house is relationships, marriage. You have to put forth effort into your relationship, into your marriage. Because Rahu is showing you have desire for romance. But Saturn's there. Saturn's showing work has to be put in. And with this aspect, definitely, work has to be put in. Now, this isn't saying you can't get into a relationship. But if you do, it's going to require work. If you are in business, business requires you to put forth a lot more effort than usual. If you want a good relationship with other people in general, seventh house is the masses, it's all the people you deal with in the world. You have to put in the work, you have to put forth effort. Now, seventh aspect is the relationship aspect, and that's falling on your 11th house. Your relationship with your elder siblings, your paternal aunts and uncles, your friends, or large organizations that you deal with is going to be cold, bleak, and distant during this time. Your friends aren't really going to be there for you like you want them to be during this time. Same thing with your elder siblings and your paternal aunts and uncles. That relationship is going to be more distant than usual. And it's already very distant to begin with right now because Ketu's sitting there. Now, the one exception, you may have a few very close friends that you've either made or kept while Ketu's been there. The rest, it becomes distant or disconnected completely. Now, the 10th aspect of Saturn is going to fall onto the second house. You have karma to perform, tied to your family, tied to your finances. You have to work hard to improve that during this time. Family may need your help during this time. Maybe you're struggling financially because of some debt you had to take on. Maybe on behalf of your education or on behalf of your children's education. So now you're having to work hard to overcome that. Maybe you're working hard to eat healthier. Like I said, the things that you are eating during this time could be causing health issues. That could be there too. Okay, that's what I have for you though, Libra. moving on to Scorpio. All right, Scorpio. So, Saturn and Neptune are both retrograding into your fourth house. Saturn is your third and fourth lord. So, let's talk about the fifth house because that energy is being brought into the fourth. Fifth house is romance, fun and games, creativity, arts and sports. It's children, students, subordinates. It's education. It's politics. It's counseling. It's speculative gains through stock market, through gambling, through business. Now, fourth house. Fourth house is mother figures, home, land, real estate, vehicles, your comfort and your happiness. So, here, what we're going to see. First off, you're going to have to work hard to have comfort and happiness within the home. You may actually have people deceiving you tied to the home or tied to vehicles. You need to be careful with that. Because Rahu and Neptune both are in nakshatras that are tied to deception. So that is something that you can see here. Another thing that you see is some of you may be working from home during this time. That is a possibility with this. If you are tied to educational work at all, you could even be teaching students from your home. That could be there. There could be romance or fun that takes place within the home. But Saturn's showing. First off, Rahu and Neptune is a fog cloud. You may get absorbed into this. Because they are fog clouds. They are going to confuse you. And Rahu's that desire. But Saturn's going to make it a little more grounded, a little bit more practical. You may spend a lot more time at home than usual. You may not want to go out so much. If you have a landlord, they could actually try to take advantage of you during this time. A lot of effort has to be put forth to have comfort and happiness within the home. Your younger siblings could actually come to visit you during this time. You could be receiving education within the home during this time, if I forgot to mention that. Overall, this is actually one of the better ones, except for one thing. So this is where it comes to your mother. Mother may be dealing with some health issue or maybe dealing with some addiction issue, especially alcoholism. And she may need help with that. And it's because Rahu and Neptune both are in nakshatras tied to addictions. Uttar Bhadrapada is addictions, and Neptune's also acting like it's in Satabisha with Rahu, which is tied to alcoholism. But Saturn's there. Saturn is acting like the fourth lord in the fourth house, showing that there is protection. But yeah, your mother may need some kind of help. If it's not that, then mother is dealing with some kind of health issue during this time. It might need your help with that. Also, younger siblings may actually come to visit your home. That can be seen with this as well. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Saturn. Saturn's going to have a third aspect on the sixth house. Now, you have to put forth effort to overcome your enemies, to overcome health issues that you're dealing with, to overcome any debts that you've had to take on. You have to put forth more effort into your work. Maybe you've been slacking. Saturn does not like a slacker. Now, seventh aspect is the relationship aspect. That's going to fall in the 10th house. 10th house is your workplace, your managers, and your bosses. And it's also government. So your relationship with these people is going to be cold, bleak, and distant. So you're going to have trouble with your managers and bosses during this time. You could even have trouble dealing with people in government. They're not really going to support you. Um, People in your workplace may be difficult to deal with during this time. I could also be there. 10th aspect is going to be on the first house. There is karma to perform tied to your health, tied to your physical body. Like, this is the time to diet, to go to the gym, to overcome your health issues. Make sure you're going to the doctor. Like, Saturn's showing that very clearly with its aspect on the 6th house and the 1st house. Okay, that's what I have for you though, Scorpio. Moving on to Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. So, Saturn and Neptune are both retrograding into your 3rd house with Rahu. And Saturn's your 2nd and 3rd lord. So, 4th house energy is being brought into the 3rd house. 4th house is your mother figures. It's home, land, real estate. It's vehicles. It's your comfort and your happiness. That's being brought to the 3rd house. 3rd house is younger siblings, cousins, neighbors. It's communication of all kinds, including writing. It's media, social media, the internet. It's arts and sports. It's your skills. It's short distance travel, but it can even be foreign travel because it's 12th from the 4th, furthest place from your homeland. It's also 8th from the 8th. 3rd house is effort. Well, now is transformation through self-effort. The greatest transformation you will deal with in this life. The greatest psychological baggage you will deal with in this life. So, with this, first off, we see that your mother may be dealing with some kind of either health issue or addiction issue during this time. And if it's an addiction issue, it would likely be alcoholism. If you know that that's something that your mother struggles with. Effort has to be put forth to help your mother during this time. If you have younger siblings, you're going to desire to spend more time with them. But they could also be dealing with some kind of addiction issue. You may be traveling more than usual. You may be spending more time out of the home, going to and fro. You may be learning new skills. Maybe you're learning astrology. After all, Rahu and Neptune both are acting like they're in Satabisha. This is a nakshatra of astrology. But you need to be careful. You can be deceived by your neighbors or by people online. Because Satabisha and Uttarabhadrapada both are tied to deception. So that could be there. You may want to experience more media than usual. Rahu is sitting there, Neptune's sitting there. Neptune's tied to film. And especially with Saturn, older media. You may be enjoying that more than usual. You have to get new skills for your work, for your career. And that would help your career. You may actually be doing some work tied to media even during this time. Or arts and sports. You're really going to value the time that you spend with your younger siblings during this time. Okay. Also, there can be a big change tied to your finances, tied to your family, tied to your home. You could actually be moving far away during this time. Okay. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Saturn. So Saturn is going to aspect from the sign of Aquarius. Third aspect is going to be on the fifth house. Effort being put forth towards romance, towards your education, towards either having children or your children that you already have. Now, whether or not you can have children, that's going to depend on your dashas primarily, meaning your planetary and sign-based time periods. Transits are the last thing a good astrologer looks at. Now, the seventh aspect is the relationship aspect. That's going to fall in the ninth house. Ninth house is your father figures, your mentors, your teachers, your gurus, counselors, people in higher education, religious people, philosophical people, legal people. Your relationship with these people is going to be cold, bleak, and distant. Saturn showing you may not be able to relate to your father during this time. Your guru could be especially harsh during this transit. You're not able to relate to people, your priest, your rabbi, whatever. Now, 10th aspect is going to fall in the 12th house. So karma has to be performed tied to the 12th house. So 12th house is spirituality. Maybe you are putting forth more energy into pursuing your spiritual pursuits. Maybe you are traveling to a far off foreign land. You're trying to overcome your losses during this time. Could be investing. These are all things that can be seen with this. If your mother is dealing with some kind of health issue or a younger sibling, you may have to go to the hospital to help them. Okay, that's what I have for you though, Sagittarius. Moving on to Capricorn. All right, Capricorn. So for you, Saturn and Neptune both are retrograding into your second house. So the energy of the third house is being brought into the second house, and Saturn rules your first and second house. So, third house is your younger siblings, it's your cousins, it's your neighbors, it's communication of all kinds, including writing, it's marketing and sales, it's arts and sports, it's your skills, it's media, social media, the internet. It's travel, not just short distance, but even foreign travel, because 12th from the 4th, furthest place from your homeland. It's 8th from the 8th. If third house is effort, it is transformation through self-effort. The greatest transformation you will experience is the third house. It's also the greatest psychological baggage you deal with. Now, this is moving into the second house. Second house is your family, your finances, your earnings, your savings, your bank account. It's your possessions, it's what you value. It's your speech. So, with this, especially with Saturn being that first and second lord, we see, first off, you're going to be very confused when it comes to your finances, when it comes to dealing with the family. Family may actually be dealing with some addiction issues, especially alcoholism. Or you are dealing with this, because second house is what you drink and eat. That could be there. And in particular, the younger siblings. could be struggling with these addiction issues as well. Younger siblings could even be stealing from the family during this time. If you know that your younger siblings can't really be trusted, then you know that could be the case. And if not the family, then they could be stealing from you. Because second house is your possessions. Now, of course, if your younger sibling wouldn't do that, then don't worry about that. Now, the other thing that we see, you may be acquiring more skills. Saturn showing you have to learn skills tied to dealing with finances and the way you speak. These will benefit your career. They'll help you perform your karma. But you have to be careful when you speak. With this, you are going to speak without thinking clearly, because Neptune and Rahu are both acting like they're here in the second house of speech. They're both a fog cloud. In this case, a sound cloud. You don't know what you're saying. Too much white noise in your ears. So be careful with that. Also, some of you may have some kind of health issue tied to the face. This could be your hearing, your sight, your sense of smell, your throat, your teeth. There could be some health issue that you're dealing with. Because Neptune and Rahu are going to be in Satabisha, which is tied to health issues. So you may have to go to a dentist or an eye doctor. Those kinds of things could be there. Especially because Saturn is your first lord transiting here, retrograde. Now, let's talk about the aspects. Third aspect is going to fall onto the fourth house. Fourth house is, well, first off, third aspect is effort. You have to put forth effort when it comes to dealing with your mother during this time. You have to put forth effort when it comes to the home, vehicles, having comfort and happiness. These aren't just going to be easy. You have to put effort towards them. Now, seventh aspect is the relationship aspect. That's going to fall in your eighth house. But with Saturn, it's going to be cold, bleak, and distant. Eighth house is occultists. It's people in research. It's anyone hidden. And it's your in-laws. So especially if you are married or in a committed relationship, then yeah, your relationship with the in-laws is going to be worse than usual. Everybody has karma that they're dealing with at any given time. Now, 10th aspect is going to fall on the 11th house. This is the aspect of karma that you have to perform or deal with. So you have karma to deal with your elder siblings, your paternal aunts and uncles, your friends. Karma to perform tied to a large organization or some kind of large gathering. You have to perform some kind of karma. You have to put in hard work when it comes to fulfilling your hopes, wishes, and desires. When it comes to gaining more money. Because Saturn is retrograding into the second house of finances. Showing there could be some financial hardship that you have to work hard to overcome. And some of you are going to have to speak at a large organization, large gathering. Right as I say that, my throat starts clearing up. So, there's your little omen. Alright, but that's what I have for you, Capricorn. Moving on to Aquarius. Alright, Aquarius. For you, Saturn and Neptune are both retrograding into your first house, bringing the energy of the second house into the first house. So, Second house is your family, your finances, your earnings, your savings, your bank account. It's your speech, it's your possessions, it's what you value. First house is you, your physical health, your body, your overall path in life. And Saturn is your first and 12th lord. So, with this, first off, we see that family it might be heavily involved with you during this time. Now, you could be receiving family resources. If you are an immoral person, you could actually be stealing from the family with this. Rahu and Neptune are both acting like they're in two nakshatras that are tied to crime and stealing. And Neptune's acting like it's in both of these nakshatras. So, if you're immoral, yeah, you could be stealing from the family during this time. And you'd pay that karma back later. Now, if you're not, you could be dealing with addictions during this time and struggling with that. Like Aquarius people have to be very careful right now, especially when it comes to alcoholism in particular. Because Satyabisha, which Neptune and Rahu are acting like they're in, is tied to alcoholism. And Saturn is your 12th lord of addictions, retrograding into that first house. Now, if you know you aren't dealing with addiction issues or any of this, this could be you getting deeper into astrology in particular, because Satyabisha is also tied to astrology. Saturn's your 12th lord of the spiritual. So becoming more spiritual during this time. But either way, you have to invest into yourself, into your physical body during this time. You may be dealing with some financial, you're going to be dealing with a mix of financial losses and financial gain because the second house of earnings is coming to you. You are receiving money, but you're also receiving losses. Things are being taken from you. Now, where this might not be the case is if you have investments. You could be earning money through investments with this. That can be seen here as well. But there's a lot of confusion that you're dealing with right now, and Saturn is trying to rein that in, trying to help you out, believe it or not. Saturn is grounded and practical. Saturn's saying, I'm going to contain all this fog of Neptune and Rahu. You have to think clearly, as much as I can help you with that. But yeah, you're going to be dealing with a lot of responsibility on your shoulders during this time too, because Saturn's not easy. Saturn's saying you have to work hard now, especially on yourself. Now, Saturn's aspect is going to be on the third house. It's third aspect, so you have to put forth effort to dealing with your younger siblings, dealing with your cousins, your neighbors, communicating, traveling possibly, dealing with social media, people online. You have to put forth effort to learn new skills, to bring a big transformation in your life. Because third house is your biggest transformation because it's eighth from the eighth. Seventh aspect is the relationship aspect. And with Saturn, it's cold, bleak, and distant. That's falling on the seventh house. In your relationship, in your marriage, in your dealings with all the people out in the world, with your business partner, those relationships are going to be difficult, especially with your, relationship partner or your business partner. Those could be a struggle during this time. Now, 10th aspect of Saturn, of karma, is falling on the 10th house. You have to work very hard in your career right now. You have to work to achieve status, improve your reputation, to improve your relationship with your managers and your bosses. Okay. That's what I have for you, though, Aquarius. Moving on to Pisces. So, Pisces, for you, Saturn and Neptune are both retrograding into the 12th house. So, 12th house energy is being brought into, sorry, the first house energy is being brought into the 12th house. There we go. All right. Now, first house is you, your physical health, your body, your overall path in life. 12th house is spirituality, bed pleasure, sex, and sleep. It's anywhere you feel isolated, jails, hospitals, asylums, monasteries. It's losses of all kinds, including financial. It's investing, because when you invest money, you are temporarily losing money. Yeah, it's multinational companies, it's foreign people, foreign places. It's addictions, fantasy, outer space, and other worlds. And Saturn is your 11th and 12th lord in the 12th house. So with this, what are we going to see? First off, there could be health issues that you are dealing with. Neptune and Rahu both are acting like they're in Satyvisha because of the degrees of Neptune. It's acting like it's in both Uttar Bhadrapada and Satyvisha. So Satyvisha is tied to health issues. It's in the 12th house of hospitals. There could definitely be some health issue that you are dealing with this time. And if not you, this could be an elder sibling or a paternal aunt or uncle or a friend. Especially addiction issues, because Uttar Bhadrapada is tied to addictions. And Satyvisha is tied to alcoholism. Now, this is more so if this is you. But Saturn is also your 11th lord. So there's a chance it could be an elder sibling, friend, paternal aunt, or uncle. This could even be a sex addiction that someone is dealing with during this time. This 12th house is bed pleasure. And we see that fog is here. Neptune and Rahu both. Saturn is trying to rein that in. Saturn, with its rings, is trying to restrict that. Don't get too delusional here. Don't fall too deep into this addiction. You have to overcome it. I will say, when it comes to spiritual work, when it comes to astrology in particular, this is actually very good. Neptune is very magical, very mysterious. It's that energy of Pisces, the 12th house in general. And Rahu is showing a strong desire to delve into these things, to delve into that other side. And Saturn is bringing practicality into the mix. So if you are spiritual, this is very good. When it comes to investing, you need to be careful. You could be deceived during this time. The exception is if it is tied to like oil, gas, or shipping. That's where this could actually work very well. But anything else, you should avoid it. Because you could be heavily deceived. You could be stolen from, even. Because Neptune and Rahu both are in nakshatras that are tied to crime and theft. Like this kind of combination. I'll give you a warning if you are traveling to a far-off foreign place. You need to be careful. You could actually be stolen from while you're traveling. But we see you might actually be traveling with this, fulfilling hopes, wishes, and desires of going to a far-off foreign place. Just be careful. Keep a close eye on your passport, your wallet. Okay. But for some of you, you may get a foreign opportunity for work, especially working for like a multinational company. That can be seen with this as well. Okay. Now, let's talk about the aspects of Saturn. Third aspect is falling on the second house. You have to put forth effort when it comes to dealing with your family, when it comes to dealing with your finances. Remember, Saturn's showing you're going to have karma to deal with loss during this time, but Saturn's trying to rein that in with the rings. So Saturn's trying to help you overcome that and make more money, but you have to put forth effort to do that. Seventh aspect of Saturn is falling on the sixth house. This is the relationship aspect. With Saturn, it's going to make things cold, bleak, and distant. This is going to be with your maternal aunts and uncles, with your coworkers, maybe even with your pets. Pet may not like you too much during this time. Also, this could be with healthcare workers. So if you are dealing with some kind of health issue, don't be an asshole. Oh, you thought I was going to be more polite about that. No, don't be an asshole. All right. 10th aspect is going to be on the ninth house. This is the aspect of karma. So you have karma to perform tied to the ninth house. Maybe you have to help take care of your father. Maybe you have to get more education. Once again, travel becomes very significant. When it comes to pursuing religion and spirituality, these are very significant. You may be doing some like spiritual karma or religious karma tied to your ancestors that are on the other side. Because remember, 12th house is the other side. It is other worlds, like the land of the dead. And ninth house is your ancestral lineage. There we go. I'll split between saying that or ancestors. Okay. So you might actually have some karma to perform or on behalf of your ancestors during this time. Okay. But that's what I have for you, Pisces. All right. But that's what I have for all of you. And yeah, Saturn's really going to get everybody in line, as Saturn does. Okay, but if you like this video and you want to see more great content like it, be sure to like, hype, and subscribe. It really helps out me and the channel. To be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. And if you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, the links to those will be in the description box as well. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.